Okay, something huge is happening here.
The people across the country took part in ICE Out demonstrations yesterday to voice their outrage against federal immigration enforcement. Even students were taking part.
In my window, guys, I'm a U.S. citizen. Insane. This guy's breaking my window, guys.
In Minnesota and across the country, protesters clashed with federal agents one day after an ICE officer fatally shot a woman in Minneapolis.
But you see, it's nothing new. Deportation has happened for as long as history exists. Not just Trump's administration or Obama's, but many presidents before them. But the main thing that's different today is social media. The amount of information that these immigrants are being fed on a daily basis.
Actually carry around their passport.
Yes, because my kids are people of color as well.
But not only are they affected, but immigration lawyers who are unable to help them with the amount of information that they are being fed every single day. But something that these immigration lawyers fail to realize is because of all the information that's being fed to them and all the common scams that are happening, there's a lot of skepticism in the immigrant community. And in this video, I want to help lawyers regain the trust of immigrants like my parents, friends, and family that have been in that same situation before. So if you're new here, my name is Hazio Luna, and I run CaseFlow Marketing, a marketing agency that helps immigration law firms regain people's trust through lead generation and our intake and outbound systems. So, how do we do it? How do we fix a system that's broken? So really quick, put yourself in the shoes of an immigrant. You're seeing people get detained on the street, in the courts, everywhere. You're hearing all sorts of contradicting advice. There's people getting scammed, and an attorney saying you qualify and the other one saying you won't. Everything starts to feel so unstable, and you ask yourself this one question: who is actually on my side? You can see now why they feel so overwhelmed. And now put yourself in the shoes of an immigration lawyer. They're trying to keep up with new policies, stricter enforcement, and all the noise that's going on social media. But while you're doing that, you're completely missing something that's happening underneath you the whole time. And it's that these immigrants, these potential clients, are losing the one thing that you can't learn and you can't just give them through a post or through a video. It's trust. And once you realize this, you start to understand why immigrants aren't reaching out excited but cautious. Not because they don't need help, but because they see too many people around them get burned time after time. So if you're a law firm, don't misread the situation. Don't look at a lead as a bad lead or a free advice seeker or an unserious person or just a window shopper. Try to figure out what the root cause is of your problem. Is it these things? Is it really bad lead generation? Is it really that these guys are just not interested in your service? Or is it that you're not building enough trust out the gate? 9 times out of 10, you'll realize that it's trust. You see, immigration isn't some transactional decision. It's these people's future. It's the decision whether they'll see their family one more day or whether they'll have the ability to stay in the country. When the stakes are that high, people don't want legal advice. They want reassurance. They want to feel safe. And what most lawyers are failing to realize is that the trust isn't built in the consultation anymore. It's built way before the consultation even happens. Think about what a lead experiences in today's world. They submit a form, they get a text or an automated email coming from the law firm. After that, if they don't answer, it's kind of just up in the air. From their perspective, it doesn't feel professional or something that they're going to go out of their way to reach out. It feels risky. Because keep in mind, the way they found you is probably through one simple Google search or a Facebook ad that came across their feed. You're just another video, just another post on their feed. So the question we started asking was simple. How do we remove skepticism from our process? And what we've seen work consistently more than any other thing is having a real intake layer to your sales process. And that doesn't mean give free legal advice on a follow-up call or to replace the attorney with an intake team. But what it means is to create clarity before they even get to the consultation stage. Most firms go straight from ad to consultation. That assumes that the lead already understands the process, expectations, what to bring to the call prepared, but the truth is most just don't know. And an intake team changes that. Someone answers questions, explains the process, sets expectations, and most importantly, listens. That single human interaction removes more skepticism than any ad ever could. And if you're not some huge giant firm, you most likely don't have the bandwidth to answer every lead instantly. So without intake, leads pile up. And from the client side, it just looks like nobody cares. But the other thing you can do that we've seen matters a lot is video ads. You see, static ads or those image photo ads that you see that all these firms used to run don't work anymore. There's no voice, there's no face. You see, the video ad lets the person feel like they're talking to a human, not some big corporation. You see, people don't want firms anymore. They want a person who just happens to run a firm. And this is also why organic content matters more than most lawyers think. It's free, it feels familiar, and it builds trust. But most firms overlook it every time. But when you combine a clear intake and human communication, you stop fighting skepticism. You just completely remove it from your sales process. Look, immigration law isn't slowing down. People are more uncertain than ever. The firms that will win in today's day aren't the loudest or the biggest. It'll be the ones that are most consistent and the ones that are most human. And that's what lawyers still don't realize. And the reason I say this is because just like you, we kind of fell into the same process. We were generating leads, tons of leads, from ads. They would come in, submit a form, and we would send them automated texts and messages in hopes that they would book a consultation. But what we realized was, although they were still booking these consultations, they would show up to these calls very skeptical, afraid, almost as if there was a right or wrong answer to every question we would ask. And little by little, we went back to the drawing boards and we had to look at, okay, what are the reasons for this happening? So we looked at 3 pillars. What's our first impression to these leads? Who are they talking to? And what are we telling them? When we looked at their first impression, we looked at the ads. Well, static images, not so great. Okay, let's do video. Gives them a chance to have a real human connection. And who are they talking to? Well, we realized that most law firms just don't have the proper systems or processes set in place to contact these leads instantly. And what are we telling them? Well, most of these law firms aren't telling them anything. They don't have any content out. They don't have anything to give them actual advice that this firm is a real firm, a good practice, and actually exists and knows what they're talking about. So those are the 3 problems that we realized were the most impactful things to fix that will drive instant results once they were fixed. And like always, if you liked this video and you felt like it had some sort of value, if you have any questions, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.